When it comes to Oracle licensing, one of the biggest questions is this: Oracle NUP versus processor licensing. Which is right for your organization? The answer can mean the difference between major savings and years of unnecessary costs. As a former Oracle LMS auditor, I've seen companies thrive when they choose the right licensing metric, and I've also seen them overspend by millions when they don't. Let's break it down in simple terms. First, named User Plus Licensing, or NUP. This is Oracle's user-based licensing model. Every person with access to Oracle software, whether they log in directly or just access data through an app, needs to be licensed. NUP comes with minimums. For Database Enterprise Edition, it's 25 users per processor. For middleware, it's 10 per processor. That means even if you only have a handful of actual users, you may have to buy more licenses to meet Oracle's minimums. For example, if you run Database Enterprise Edition on a server that works out to 2 processor licenses, you'd need at least 50 NUPs, even if only 18 people actually use it. So when does NUP make sense? It works best for smaller controlled environments like test or development systems or departmental apps with a fixed number of users. It doesn't work well for public-facing applications, where the user count is unpredictable or unlimited. Now let's look at processor licensing. This is Oracle's hardware-based metric. Instead of counting users, you license based on the number of processor cores where Oracle is installed and running. Most Intel and AMD cores count as half a license each, thanks to Oracle's core factor table. Processor licensing is ideal when you've got large or unpredictable user populations, things like customer-facing websites, high-volume transaction systems, or data warehouses. It gives you predictable costs and simpler compliance, since you don't have to track every single user. But it can be expensive if you have a lot of cores and only a few users. So how do you choose between the two? The answer lies in careful Oracle license metrics comparison. A good rule of thumb: if you've got a small, controlled, and stable user base, Oracle user-based licensing with NUP is usually more economical. If your users are large in number, external, or unpredictable, processor licensing is safer. A quick break-even example: Oracle's pricing works out so that 50 NUPs equal 1 processor license in cost. That means if you have fewer than 100 users on a 2-processor setup, NUP is cheaper. Once you cross that threshold, processor licensing makes more financial sense. But cost isn't the only factor. You also need to think about compliance, virtualization, and cloud. In VMware environments, processor licensing can balloon in cost because Oracle may require licensing for entire clusters. In those cases, NUP might suddenly look better. And in the cloud, Oracle has its own unique rules that could tilt the balance. The biggest mistake I see? Organizations focusing only on upfront cost and ignoring long-term growth, infrastructure changes, and compliance. Over time, that mistake can quietly explode into massive costs. The reality is, many companies use a hybrid strategy: NUP for development and testing, processor for production. It's more complex to manage, but it often delivers the best balance of cost and flexibility. Here's the bottom line: choosing between named User Plus licensing and processor licensing isn't just a financial decision, it's a strategic one. It affects your flexibility, compliance risk, and even your long-term relationship with Oracle. If you want clarity on whether NUP or processor licensing is the right fit for your environment, reach out to us at Redwood Compliance. We offer a complimentary 1-hour consultation to help you analyze your options, avoid costly mistakes, and optimize your licensing strategy. Oracle licensing isn't static. It changes as your users, infrastructure, and cloud plans evolve. The smartest organizations review their license metrics regularly, not just once. That's how you stay compliant, control costs, and turn Oracle licensing from a burden into a competitive advantage.